Hey there, and welcome to the Battle of, well, East Dunfuster, laid in Scotland. As you can see over here, beautiful sight to behold. And if we turn the camera a little bit, oh, we see a huge naval force ready to make its way to take the city. So, my name is Gerontis. I am playing as one of the defenders in the siege. I hope you guys will enjoy this battle. I enjoyed it immensely. And as you can see over here, the troops are more than ready to welcome the invaders. But before we're going to take a look at the city in more details, we're actually going to try and look at the attackers. So this was kind of like an interesting battle. Over here you can see some Norse skulls ready to go. Beautiful sight, just amazing. We got a strong melee corps, strong infantry melee corps at the disposal in the siege. Which should not really be very surprising, see the Norse, a lot of axe units, really ferocious men. Our enemies did kind of like have a misunderstanding, because one, the Norse, was going to do a naval invasion on these beaches, and the other guy, the Saxons, oh, they decided, like, you know what? Just screw a land battle, right? We will show these Norse how to handle a proper sea invasion. We did it before; it was cool. So we're gonna take a look at their forces. The Saxons have a lot of royal taints, armored with chainmail, swords, shields, some good quality troops. Here you see more royal taints, some more, and as this total war, the navies aren't, you know, the pathfinding is not really optimal, but it's still cool to see just a fleet just going into the distance or just make way to the beaches. They did have some spear units, but as you can see, they're really well armored. They're strong fighting force over here. Not a lot of skirmishers. I mean, technically, this would be a real elite force, all dressed up in chainmail, ready to go at the defenders. The Norse have like a mix. Oh well, no, these are Friedmen, fried spearmen, ramming into one of their ships. You can hear the collision even. The ships are basically waiting in line to drop. The Norse have like Sword Hersir. Some good strong melee units. I was gonna deploy some ships over here, drop some troops off. Let's see what they have over here. Some shield biters. These guys are like, they're not official berserkers, but believe me, they can pack a punch. Some more skulls over here. I believe they also had some other troops, but we will get to them else in a minute. Yeah, look at this. Viking marauders. Some good axe infantry. More Viking marauders, basically the core of this army. As you can see, they're making their way slowly through the gap. Because the most interesting of this city is you can attack from the sea, as you can see that our attacks are doing. And you can also attack from land. So you got these beaches where you can deploy your ships. There is some obstacles made over here, which is pretty damn cool. Like, as if the defenders were like, oh wait, we should actually blockade this, so that invading armies cannot make use of the back door and try to, you know, slide troops into here. But what I really love about this battle was just how the defenses were like played up. Like, first you got this little kind of wall. You can actually, I don't think you can place a siege tower against this. It's kind of small, but you can still use a battering ram, batter down the gates, move your way through the defenders, and as you're getting and fighting over here, trying to push the defenders just back.
A tower has been destroyed.
That's probably at the beach. The defense could just put on skirmishers or archers and just lay fire and just it's kind of cool. I really like such details. Over here, you can already see like the attackers can like deploy the army over here, perhaps place some you know, catapults, artillery over at these little adorable farms. Just smash down the defenses while the archers are just waiting over here in line, shooting at any, you know, approaching invaders, which I actually had expected attackers to also attack over land, try and divide our forces, which it didn't. Which was kind of sad, but still, it's gonna be a fun battle. I hope you guys still will enjoy. I recommend to get some drinks, some snacks to watch this battle, because the start is a little bit slow, as you can notice. Our attackers are forming up. We are giving them not really anything dangerous. We don't really attack them. Like a few volleys. As you can see over here, we kind of like killed 10 spearmen. Some random arrows coming from the sky. Must be terrifying for the attackers. Just, you know, not be able to see where it's coming from. But yeah, we just let the attackers just first form up before we allow archers to fire. It's kind of fair. But what was interesting is that we saw this fleet just dropping in troops, and this is this is all of the Norse units that are like deploying over here with some, like, you know, spearmen from the Saxons. Decided to help their buddies out over here. But the majority of the Saxons decided to go on this beach and just land their troops over here, making the crazy little jumps over here. Just 2-3 meters. Just, nah, you know what? Fuck it. Let's do it. Full armor. It's so adorable to see troops like that just cheering, just jumping over these ships. Yeah, they were like deploying over here, where we had no sight of them. And as you can imagine, these ships are like pulling back to safety, while the troops are like forming up in their battle formations, getting ready for battle. And we'll come back to them later. As you can see over here, we don't have any defenders, nothing at the ready. We've got some archer towers, a gate that they need to get through, but there's nothing really substantial to hold them back. We do have like we have some good units. We got some. I'll try and pronounce the names. I apologize in advance if my pronunciation is a little bit bad. English is not my first language, but you know, let's just try it out. So these troops are mine. I got some Welsh milled axemen, some good infantry, and I got Contract spearmen, which are they did pretty well. Like, they're tier 3, so they're pretty good troops. And there you can see over here some good armored axemen over here, all ready to grind the steel against those Saxon and Norse invaders. We got some more troops over here, as you can see. Trying to get a good shot on them. Some more Welsh armored troops, Welsh swordsmen. I do believe that my ally was Stratklut. I'm once more sorry if I butchered that name. I'm really trying my best over here. So Royal Talu. Our general's just sitting back over here, having a good sight on the city. As you can see, I really love this settlement. As you perhaps can notice from how I talk about it. Like, you can have an attack over here, attacks pulling through, forcing defenders to fall back, have a fight in this village, on the hill, just, you know, try and make a layer of defenses for the attacker. As you can see over here, seeing that the majority of the troops, mostly the Normans, are like deploying on the beach and will try and smash through our defenses. We have a layer of defenses, basically. We got some valley armored spearmen, good tier and good quality kind of troops, more than ready to try and resist the invaders. They're being supported by more contract spearmen, levy spearmen, and after that we have some reserves of armored spearmen and swordsmen. Some more armored axemen coming into stand ready in case the first line will fall. We did have some other troops. Some javelin men, more axemen. Like we did have like a quality troops, but we didn't have as much as the enemy, obviously. Yeah, you can now see over here, enemy army slowly advancing, more than ready to chop us in little pieces. And most of these attackers are like fly spearmen, marauders, nothing too dangerous. Like, well, the sword hunters are pretty damn good, pretty well armored, pretty good stats. I got some archers to support fire, to give support fire. Oh, attack is difficult, guys. And some more javelin men ready to soften up the ranks of the defenders. Over here you can see their skulls a little bit better.
The barricades are under attack.
I will get to the barricades in a bit. And then we got, I believe, the berserkers. And man, these guys are just amazing. The unit detail, the fact that they're not like some, you know, the stereotype, the berserker, half-naked guy just with an axe just running out of battle. And I really wish that the chat like display back the conversation that we had, because my ally and I had a really cool conversation about berserkers and how this game portrays them, like actual elite troops. But we'll come back to that in a bit. As you can see, the attackers made short work of our defenses. They didn't lose a lot of men. That has a reason. I basically told my guy, like, okay, you know what, just pull your archers back. They cannot see us over here. Archers are hidden for them. So we will just, you know, let them grow a little bit comfortable, move up, and from here, as you can see, we have like a good angle and sight on these, on this position. Running up our archers, letting the enemy just move up a little bit more. Oh, we create a tense, just a dense form of shields and everything else. Just, and this is where the attackers decide like to form up after a volley of arrows raining down upon them. Now you can see that the enemy archers are also firing from these guys, but we're prepared, sitting in steel castle. And the fighting is taking place. I do believe there's no more volleys coming in from the enemy archers, but I'm actually waiting for ours to just drop on these guys from above. Over here, our enemy has something really funny, because I thought like, okay, I deploy them so you know we can like bar away, they cannot get past us. But these Norse, they are smart. They got the military tactics. So they just decide like, you know what, we can just slide past, get some guys past, you know, then decide to flank the defenders. Here we can see a little standoff. Some brave Welshmen trying to fight off against some Vikings. The battle's a little bit, you know, these spearmen are not really meant to do a lot of offensive power. Spearmen are basically in this game more to fend off against cavalry and to hold their ground. And man, they held their ground. We do see some arrows forming up, trying to attack our guys over here. I believe this is my ally. Yes, he's moving together with me some more troops to the front. Because the line was not breaking. As you can see, we're actually winning. But, you know, we're losing some guys. So we wanted to be a little bit more certain that these North wouldn't have like an easy time just pulling through our defenses. Let's take a look back at the Saxons. I don't believe they're yet out of the woods. You can see the Saxon vanguard getting ready to quickly make way to their gates. Just a huge contingent of spearmen. Being very sneaky. Over here we can see... why is the camera doing so weird? You can see some royal thanes getting ready for battle, running towards the walls. And it was really interesting because during the battle we had no idea how far or how fast the Saxons were moving. So the problem was that while we were trying to hold up the Norse, I will show you guys like this. While we were trying to hold up the main first offense of the Norse over there together with some Saxon troops, the Saxons were just, you know, hidden in the woods, hidden from our side, just slowly making their way to this little gate, while we were trying to hold them up over here. So let's see. We can see that we drove some of the Norse back. The little flanking force didn't really... I mean, it did some damage, but it didn't really break our troops. Now the Norse are actually holding on lines, while they're throwing javelins at us. Throwing more troops into the fray. And as you can imagine, that is actually a very good tactic. Most of our troops are kind of dying because of the javelins that are being thrown at them. You can see a guy over here. 3 javelins. Oh yeah, he's goner. There he goes. Rest in peace, guy. It's a brave Welshman trying to just drive these Norse invaders back. Well, the javelins are starting to just wreak havoc upon us. We did have to be a little bit careful on our archers. As you can see, we're kind of like swapping, because over here you don't really have a good line of sight or a good angle on the troops. Over here it's a little bit better, but what we wanted to do is, like, because we didn't have like infinite ammo, we wanted to use kind of like routine to allow now longbowmen who actually can fire a little bit better than my what's the name again? Halvar? I don't know. To allow my archers to actually recuperate a little bit, save up some ammo. And now the longbowmen will like size up like what targets they find more juicy, and yeah, I believe they should give a volley soon.
They've got us in missile range.
Yeah, you can also see that we have some archers over here. Some more longbowmen who are starting to fire on these guys. With some of these are skulls.
We're in missile range.
And the fighting over here is just brutal. The Norse desperately trying to just make way through our line of defense over here. Well, the Welsh are just not eager to give any ground to these foul pagans.
See, they flee before our might.
Yeah, some troops are starting to break off. That's fine, that's fine. Over here we see the Saxons making way to our gate. And I think like, okay, nobody's over here, we can just go in, but no. Hot oil coming through. Just pouring on these poor guys who are like, okay, we can surprise them. But as you can see, yeah, not really. So this is kind of what I kind of find funny. Apparently spears can break to a gatehouse, but at the same time, I kind of like it. Because it actually allowed the Saxons to try and surprise us. I mean, we were expecting them to make a way around, but you know, to actually manage to get through. Some more oil pouring down. Most of these guys are actually safe. But yeah, a lot of damage already has been done to these guys. They had 120 soldiers. More than 30 guys just died. A terrible death. And hot oil. And this guy over here just... He wasn't lucky. Even combusting some flames while he's dying. That's pretty damn brutal. we did have some troops over here. As you can see, we have some more archers. Out of sight, so the enemy doesn't see them over here. And what we more have out of sight are just some emergency troops to just not make it too easy for the Saxons. We got these guys over here just waiting in the pass, ready to just greet the Saxons with some good old steel. Over here the battle's still going on, it's still going tough. We're not eager to give any ground to these invaders, but as you can see, some of our spearmen are losing a lot of ground. They're starting to be a little bit shaky, starting being a little bit tired. Constantly fighting against these Norse is really difficult. The attackers don't have an easy fight as well. Being shot into the back by the archers. So the gates have been destroyed.
Let battle commence.
And the attacker is a little bit wavering. The problem was that our allies, the Norse guy was pretty damn cool, but the Saxon guy, you know, you just have those battles or people who are too competitive. They really want to win. So I did offer them, like, you know what, after this battle we can find the first walls. That you guys have this siege, because it is pretty damn obvious that the Spanish have like a good advantage on this kind of battle. So the attacker is trying to capture the gate, but he went a little bit too eager. A lot of these guys dying because of this gatehouse. I really wish that you could like see how many the gatehouse killed. It'd be real cool. And more oil just pouring on these poor souls. You can just see them. But yeah, they captured the gate, broke down our towers. So then now they have actually captured this little section with no opposition to force them back out. Which I found a little bit more fair, because if I had deployed 2 good units and just hold them back, that would have been just less cool in my opinion. So here you see more of the Royal Thanes making way with the general. We did get a message that our troops are like falling back a little bit, but they're coming back into the battle, realizing that they need to defend their city. So I see more of these guys being shattered actually, deciding to return home. Some more guys broken. But they decide, you know what, we're not done with these Norse. We need to show them some good Welsh honor and all that jazz. we did throw in our second line of defense, hoping to hold these Norse back. And as you can see, these Huscarls, they were brutal. But with arrow fire coming in and these guys not having a lot of defense against the archers, we try and hold them back, and we managed to succeed. So at a very heavy cost. This place just littered with bodies, shields, weapons.
Our men run from the enemy. This is shameful.
And eventually more of our troops start to run. Tired, exhausted, haven't seen all this violence, and just not eager to continue to keep fighting against these Norse warriors. And as you can see over here, more troops are just waiting in order to try and kill some of our guys. Over here you can see we deployed some reserve unit to try and hold this place a little bit, because the enemy came with his spearmen, exhausted but still eager to pick up a fight with the Welsh. Let's see how this goes. If you listen very closely, you can actually hear the units having their own chants, which I really find amazing that they added that. Really gives some immersion into the game. But as these guys are fighting over here, I actually managed to get some more of my archers. Yeah, some skirmishers at the ready, just out of sight. And as you can imagine, I can just deploy them on these walls and have some good angles at the back, at that of the Saxons. But let's check out this battle. So you can see over here, we kind of pulled back away from. Well, no, we pushed forward. A lot of Norse and some Welsh and some Saxon are dead. And because of that, we decided, you know what, let's be aggressive, let's fight. But then these berserkers just came in, and well, it became just a massacre. They almost started to envelop us and beat us heavily back. So some of our units start to run back to our second line of defense over here. These guys are trying to ready up. Let's see. So we actually have some archers. Getting ready to release some volleys into these guys. Any moment now. Any moment.
Cowards! How dare you abandon us?
Readying up. Let's go down. And some good old fire is coming their way. Some troops trying to raise their shields, but they keep trying to just make way to our defenses. We decided to just be a little bit more aggressive, trying to round these Saxons back. But as we were doing that, the Saxons decided, you know what, we will just form up our royal taints over here, let them, you know, recover a little bit from their quick march. And I just love the sight of these elite units just standing over here, just waiting to be next in line. Some jumping up, ready to pump themselves up for the battle.
Together now, at the walls! An entire unit has perished!
Yeah, and let's go back to this.
They flee before our might!
We formed up a wall of defense, hoping to blockade these Norse with one final push, at least with one final attempt. Because if they manage to get through this defense, then we're screwed. We're like moving some of our reserves, just very slowly. We don't want to exhaust them. Well, some don't. Because as you see, the Norse, they are like they're still going strong despite losing a lot of their men. The morale still very high. They're ready to just go dive fighting, going to Valhalla. And this is kind of a funny charge. Just very slowly walking up, just casually, just starting to hammer down. But as you can see, these guys are berserkers. Experienced silver chevron, which means their stats are really good. And despite being just 40 guys, these guys put up a fight. It was me and my ally were a little bit worried that we weren't able to just hold them off, despite our arrow fire coming in from the back, killing a lot of these berserkers. But yeah, it's shield biters, berserkers. These guys were they were really tough. If we didn't deploy so many guys over here, we would have lost, because as you can see, despite us shooting down a lot of these guys, they are chewing through our spearmen like it's nothing. Some hard guard over here. All these sword infantry. And over here, my ally and I decided to swap places, because I saw this army and I was like, you know what? I'm not certain if I want to sacrifice this unit just for cinematic purposes, but my ally was like, you know what, I kind of want to see how these guys fight up against these Saxons. And
The enemy general is dead!
yeah. We will get to that in a second. So I decided to move up my archers, get them into a good position, hoping to kind of like snipe at some of these officers, trying to reduce their morale. So the enemy Norse general is dead. Despite their losses, they are still going strong. They are not ready to give up. You can see over here these little kind of duels. This guy cheering despite losing most of his friends and comrades. Which gives us away because we kind of defeat this unit, and we decide, like, you know what, these berserkers, we kind of need to take them down because, you know, as you can notice, there's no volley coming in, no archer shooting the volleys in the back of these units, and they started to just hammer through. If it causing more of our reserve troops to move in, try and hold these guys off. We even moved in with a flanking force. But these guys, they didn't surrender.
The battle is turning in our favor.
But there's another strategy that we had in mind. My ally had like three cavalry units moving around through this gate, deciding, like, you know what, the Saxons tried to like surprise us. What if we surprise them back? So the Saxons are forming up, ready to, you know, have this little standoff. I'm not seeing that I was throwing in some javelin fire, shooting down some of their guys. And we killed, like, in one volley, we killed a good amount of their troops. But they're still going strong. They still have faith that they can, like, take the city. And I believe that at one point I decided to, like, move a little bit over here, you know, decide to get a better angle. And despite all of this, the berserkers are still fighting on, still taking up the fight. They're like 3 guys out of control because, you know, they went berserk, but they still decide to fight. I'm trying to find this guy. Eyes over here. Surrounded by enemies, this guy didn't give up. Like a true hero. Deciding he's not gonna join his comrades with fleeing, with being killed, routed. No, he's going down fighting. And there he goes. We finally managed to kill all the berserkers, rout the Norse troops. We moved two of our units, reserve units, but, you know, as you can see, these guys were reserves and they still suffer some losses. Especially this unit. They're very tired from fighting all these berserkers. And now they have to clean up these two spearmen over here.
We're on our own.
And this is where the charge is happening. My ally decides to charge in, move in with his troops, and decide to go with the cavalry, but we forgot about one little thing. The enemy had captured the gate, so yeah, as you can see, a lot of cavalry died because of the burning oil. Still, my ally decided to go on with his charge, trying to move and hammer these Saxons into the back. Causing a little bit of a disruption at the back, but these Saxons, they're hardy fighters. They know how to, you know, keep up the fight. So they turn around, decide, like, you know what? Let's rout this cavalry first, and then let's rout these troops. Scoring a lot of good kills over here.
Our ally has fled.
So yeah, there went the cavalry, and like that, the battle was over. It was a real good battle. I had a lot of fun. I was a little bit disappointed on how one of the enemies was not really that, good of a sport, and he called us cheaters and whatever. But that happens. I'm not gonna focus on that. So here you can see the stats of the armies that were deployed. I deployed most troops, but most of my troops were not really that amazing. As you can see over here, these guys did have a lot of good kills though. Especially my archers. My archers were really cheap, and they got a lot of kills. But that was probably because they had really good shots in the back and whatever. My sword unit was arguably one of my best units. Scored not that much better than my armor spearmen. But overall, I think I did relatively well. Let me take a look at my ally. These guys did a good number on the enemy. The cavalry performed not as planned. That was probably because we forgot that the enemy had captured the gate, so we couldn't really do a lot. And this longbowmen, they did some good kills, but I don't think that they killed a lot more than my cheaper kind of archers. But still, they were really cool to see how they performed into the battle. So here are the Saxons. They didn't kill a lot of troops, but they had kind of like an elite force over here. But yeah, overall, didn't perform that well, but it can happen. Now we see over here the Norse. Some of these units performing not up to the cost, but some did. Like these berserkers, they scored a lot of kills. They were worth the money. Anyways, that was the battle. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Take care of yourself, and see you later.